Hello, welcome to AnAuraChicBeauty channel. For this makeup tutorial, I was inspired by my outfit that I'm wearing. It's just a simple black dress, but on the top half of it, it has some glittery gold sparkles on it. And then I paired it with a leopard print jacket. And so for the makeup, I wanted something dramatic but still sophisticated, and so for the eyes I did something simple and neutral. There's some warm peachy brown colors on the crease, and on the lid is a taupey gold color with some glittery gold on top. And for the lips, I thought a matte red lip would look really nice with the leopard print jacket. I kind of made it a more brown base red lip. And then for the cheeks, I did a matte beigey color, and a lot of the products that I'm using in this tutorial I use from the Neiman Marcus haul that I recently posted on my blog, and some other new purchases that I bought. If you haven't read it, please check it out. I'll put a link to it on the bottom of the information box. And this look, is kind of fall winter inspired, but you can of course wear it any time of the year, and I hope you guys like it. So let's get started. So I already moisturized my face and under eye area. For my eye cream, I just used a sample of the Chanel Sublimage Eye Essential Regenerating Eye Cream. This was from the Neiman Marcus beauty event, and there's not much to say about the eye cream. It's just like any other eye cream. It's very creamy. It's a little bit thicker than the M.A.C Moisture Lush, and it doesn't have any shimmer or opalescent like sheen to it to brighten the eye area, but I do like it. Then for my face primer, I use another sample size product. This is by NARS. It's the makeup primer with SPF 20, and this one has a more lotion type feel, so I actually use my fingers to apply it. But basically it's a hydrating and soothing primer, so it helps with the redness, and it protects your skin from UVA and UVB rays. I don't think it has any mattifying properties, so I wouldn't necessarily recommend it for oily skin or combination skin. If you want a primer that will control oil or mattify your skin, but I do like it. It's not too heavy and it feels nice on the skin. And then for my eyeshadow primer, I use the NARS Smudge Proof. Again, this is a sample size, and I just applied it with my fingers. Then for my foundation, I'm using another NARS product. This is the Sheer Glow in the shade Gobi or Light 3, and this has become one of my new favorite foundations. When I first tried it, I got it from Sephora, my local Sephora. I just tried a bunch of samples to try find my color, and for some reason I couldn't find a color. They were all a bit too dark, and turns out they don't actually carry all the shades, so I had to go to Neiman Marcus and find a color. And so just especially the lighter colors, if you can't match the ones that Sephora carries, try other NARS counters. And the reason I really like this foundation is because it even though it says it's sheer, it actually gives medium buildable coverage, and so it covers the redness really well, and some of the blemishes, but it feels really light on the skin. Even though it has the word glow in it, it doesn't really give a dewy or kind of shimmery glow to the skin. It's actually more like a satin finish, and it just really looks like skin. The only thing I don't like about it is that it doesn't have a pump. It's just an open top, so you just kind of have to pour it on the back of your hand like I did, or some sort of mixing dish. And so to apply it, I just dip my brush into the product on the back of my hand, and then just stipple it onto my face. And you don't need a lot of product because it covers really well. And another thing I like about this foundation is that I don't really need to set it with powder because it lasts all day long really well. I have normal to dry skin though, so but usually when I wear liquid foundation, sometimes it separates or cakes up, but this one it looks still fresh all day. Maybe after like 8 hours or so, I'll powder a little bit just to touch up, and for oily or combination skin, you might want to powder it to make it set and wear it a lot better on your skin, but for me I really like it without powder because of the finish. It has a kind of natural glow to the skin. Now, even though the foundation covers really well, there are still a few blemishes that I want to cover up, so I'm going to be using Amazing Cosmetics Amazing Concealer in Light Golden, and this is a full coverage concealer, so it's great for covering spots and blemishes and things like that, and also for the under eye area, but I mainly use this for spot covering, so you just need a very tiny amount, and I'm using a fluffy kind of blending brush to apply it, and I just kind of dot it onto the area I want to cover, and then buff it out and blend it onto the skin. Now, with the Amazing Cosmetics Concealer, you can use it for your under eye concealing, but I'm actually going to use TheBalm TimeBalm Concealer in the shade Lighter Than Light, and because it's a lighter shade, it'll help brighten the eye area, and I'm going to use the same brush and just kind of sweep it underneath and then buff it to blend. And this concealer is very creamy and pigmented. It covers the under eye area really well. You can use it for spot concealing if you want, but this color I have is a little bit lighter, so it'll kind of highlight the blemished areas instead of covering it. So that's why I'm just using it on the under eye area. And this concealer has some anti-wrinkle ingredients, so it's great on areas for like fine lines and things like that. Next, I'm going to apply Chanel bronzing makeup base just to add a little bit of color to my skin and add a subtle contour all over. And I'm using a MAC 168 brush. It's a dense contouring face brush, and I just kind of swirl the brush into the product like that. And then I'm just going to apply it right under my cheekbone. Make sure to buff it in well to blend. I'm also going to apply it under my jaw just to define my face a little bit more, and to the temples. Now, even though I like the finish of my foundation, I do want to set the concealers and the cream bronzer. Especially for the concealers, they can be really creamy and sometimes wear off during the day and settle into fine lines under your eye area. And so I'm going to use the Laura Mercier Mineral Finishing Powder in Translucent, and I'm using an eyeshadow brush. This is Trish McEvoy number 45 sheer eyeshadow. It basically applies product in a sheer way, not a lot of coverage, and because it's really kind of big and fluffy, it's great for loose powders when you want to just set it on certain areas. So I'm gonna dust it under my eye on the areas that I concealed on my face, and then also on the cream bronzer. And the reason why I applied some loose powder on my cream bronzer is because when I apply my powder blushes, it'll help to blend in the powder since it's over a powder surface, and it'll just look a lot more seamless. Now I'm going to fill in my brows with MAC Charcoal Brown Eyeshadow and a damp eyebrow brush. I use MAC Fix Plus, but you could just use water, and I kind of want a more defined brown, a little bit darker, so that's why I dampened my eyeshadow. Then I'm going to set it with a clear brow gel. Now for the eyes, I'm first going to use the MAC Tint eyeshadow. It's similar to soft brown, but it's a little bit more peachier, and I'm going to use the MAC 224 brush, just a fluffy crease brush, and I'm going to sweep that all over on the crease, kind of concentrating more on the inner corner of the eye, and then blending it out to fade. And then I'm going to sweep that color on the bottom of the eye, and make sure to connect at the outer corner. Then I want to make that crease a little bit more darker and more defined, so I'm going to use MAC Texture. It's in orangey kind of terracotta brown color, and I'm going to use the same crease brush, but I'm just going to use the tip of it and apply it more kind of in the socket of the crease. And then I'm going to concentrate it on the inner corner of the eye, kind of right near the brow, and then blend it out on the outer half Doing this technique creates the illusion that I have a deeper crease when I actually don't. But if you have a deep set eyes or crease, then you can skip this part or just use one color just to create a little bit of shadow.